You're not going to believe how easy it is to get this expensive look for less. I removed the drawer hardware and then gave it a light sand to scuff up the surface for painting. I wiped it clean with a damp rag and applied a bonding primer. While that was drying, I spray painted the handles black. Next, I sanded the top with 220 grit sanding block. I wiped it clean and I painted it with white interior latex paint using a foam roller. I let that dry and then I mixed up 3 colors: white, gray, and black. I also filled a spray bottle with water and I got a sponge ready. These tools are essential for the next step. I looked up Carrara marble online to get some inspiration and I printed a photo that I liked for reference. I sprayed the tabletop with water and then I started painting the veins. The tricks I learned are to keep the veins angular and not making them round or swirly, and to make sure that the veins all go in one general direction and make them different thicknesses. I used the sponge and added some more texture around the veins and then sprayed some more water. And then I let it dry, and it does take extra time to dry because of the water that's added during the process. Next, I applied a clear Varathane to finish it off and seal it. I screwed the handles back on, and I cannot believe how much this looks like real marble. What do you think? Did I pull this one off? I hope this inspires you to get creative with paint and making your own faux marble.
I found this storage box at the thrift store, and it's the perfect size for my file folders. I'm not crazy about the pattern, so I'm going to use some paint to give it a look that I really like. To start, I'm going to use some black paint to help cover up that pattern. It's also going to be the base for the final look. When painting fabric, I always find it best to water it down a little bit. I have a container with about a cup of water here, and I'm going to add some of my paint into it. Once it's mixed together, it's ready to use. Now that the first coat of paint is dried, I want to add a second. The black paint has covered the pattern beautifully, and now I want to add the brown paint. I've thinned it out with a little bit of water as well, and I'm going to use a chip brush to apply it. I love the loose and uneven bristles on the chip brush, and they help to create a textured pattern in the paint. I don't have to worry about covering the black paint completely, as it will look more natural with a little bit peeking through the brown. The final step to making my faux leather look real is to cover the paint with wax. The wax gives the paint a really nice supple feel that mimics real leather. I really do wish you could feel it. I'm thrilled with how good this storage box looks now. The leather gives it a warm, natural aged feel that I absolutely love. I hope this inspired you to give your storage a makeover as well.
The thrift store is full of solid pieces of vintage and antique furniture just waiting for a new life. And the secret ingredient to transforming and upcycling some of these pieces is fabric softener. For this project, I took a trip to my favorite thrift store and spotted this vintage solid wood chair for $25 that had beautiful carvings and was super comfortable to sit in. To start, I began sanding the wood portion of the chair with 80 grit sandpaper and an orbital sander to remove the bulk of the stain from the arms, legs, and back of the chair. Because this chair had lots of grooves and small spaces where the orbital sander couldn't reach, I sanded the rest of the stain off by hand with 80 grit sandpaper, then went into all the nooks and crannies with my Dremel. To remove the remainder of the stain, I sprayed the wood with oven cleaner, allowed it to sit for about 30 minutes, then used a stiff brush to scrub it down. Once I was done scrubbing, I washed all the oven cleaner off and allowed it to dry overnight. The next day, I did a final sanding with 220 grit sandpaper, then used a brush to remove all the dust from the crevices and vacuumed the entire chair. Next, I painted on some wood conditioner to the wood, allowed that to dry for about 30 minutes, then stained it first in the color Early American, then I went in with a gel stain in the color Hickory. Once again, I allowed the wood to dry overnight. Once the stain was completely dry, I used my upholstery cleaner to deep clean all the fabric, then I taped off the wood around the upholstered sections. To transform the upholstery, I first mixed a base coat of fabric paint, which was 1 part latex paint to 2 parts fabric softener. I started off with about 4 ounces of paint and 8 ounces of fabric softener and mixed it all together. Before painting the upholstery, I used a water bottle to spray the fabric and used my hand to ensure that there was even distribution of the water. Then I applied a light layer of paint to all of the upholstery, allowed it to dry for a few hours, then went in for a second layer of the base coat. Once the first 2 coats of paint were dry, I used a 400 grit sanding block to lightly sand the paint, then wiped away the dust. Next, I mixed up a batch of the final color paint, again using 4 ounces of paint and 8 ounces of fabric softener, then sprayed the fabric with water and applied the next coat. I allowed the paint to dry for a few hours, then applied 3 additional coats in the same way for a total of 6 coats. I found that it was important for the fabric to be wet before applying the next coat of paint, but I only found the need to sand twice throughout the whole process. Once the paint was dry, I added a layer of feed and wax to the wood portions of the chair instead of sealing it with a top coat because I liked the look of the raw wood best. Now the chair is complete. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It went from a dated chair to a more stately piece of furniture that fits my style so much better, and what really made the biggest impact was painting the fabric. I hope this tutorial inspired you to upcycle a thrifted piece of furniture with some DIY fabric paint.
I'm giving this little side table a makeover. I've painted the whole thing black, but I want to do something different on the top. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually give it a coat of black paint. And when that is dry, I lightly sand and then give it another coat. Now I've taken some creamy white paint and I've added water to it so it's the consistency of milk. I've ripped up some newspaper and some white packaging paper, and I'm going to apply some of this paint on just one section of the table. I'm going to work in 3 sections. Taking pieces of the scrunched up paper, I press it into the paint and wiggle it around and keep moving the paper around so you don't get the same impression every time. It does get quite messy, so that's why I'm wearing gloves. Keep repeating the process until you get to the end. Carry on like this over the whole tabletop. Now the tabletop is dry, I'm going to use this stencil. I got it online from the Crafter's Workshop, and I've got some rose gold metallic paint. Always a good idea to stir metallic paint really well because all the goodness settles to the bottom. This is how the stencil looks, and I'm going to carry on across the whole tabletop. Once the stenciling is finished, I'm going to give it 2 coats of this gloss decorator's varnish. Here's my finished tabletop. I think it looks quite effective. It's a very easy technique to do, although a little messy. I hope you enjoyed this and you're inspired to have a go.